Hello, welcome to European Open Briefing for Thursday, November the 15th. I'm Rafi Boyajian, currency analyst at xm.com, and we're going to be taking a look at what's happening in the currency markets today. So we're seeing the US dollar steady a little bit following 2 days of mild declines. We're seeing positive sentiments surrounding US-China trade relations. China has reportedly written a letter to the US responding directly to the Trump administration's demands for trade reforms, and the Chinese officials said that the two countries are engaged in high level talks. So that has boosted sentiment somewhat. We can see both Asian and European indices are mostly in the green, though yesterday we did see another day of declines on Wall Street. Dollar yen has come under a little bit of pressure. It's fallen to around 113.40 at the moment. Dollar index is more or less flat around 96.85. The euro isn't doing too badly despite more sluggish data out of the Eurozone, and Italy refusing to make significant changes to its budget when it's resubmitted it to the European Commission. Sterling, though, has come under pressure as the UK Prime Minister Theresa May could face a vote of no confidence as more Conservative MPs come against her Brexit deal, which was agreed with the EU earlier in the week. So sterling has now fallen below the 1.29 level, down by around 0.8% on the day. The Australian dollar, though, isn't doing too badly. It's benefiting from the positive tone surrounding China-US trade talks. The Aussie is up by around 0.65% at 0.7280 at the moment. The Kiwi is also up. We did see stronger than expected job numbers out of Australia earlier today, so that boosted the Aussie significantly. If you have a look at commodities, though, oil prices are still struggling, though they have stabilized over the past day or so, but WTI is near its lows it touched earlier in the week, currently up marginally at $56.27 a barrel. Gold is somewhat gaining on the back of a softer dollar. It's extending its gains above the $1,200 level. And having a look at the main performers, Euro Pound benefiting from pound weakness amid doubts about Theresa May's Brexit deals. Aussie dollar, the second best performer. At the bottom, of course, is cable. And having a look at the dollar yen pair now, we can see the pair has retreated below the 114 level over the past couple of days. It fell to 1 week low of 113.28 yesterday. We also had some remarks by Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, who we didn't see much of a reaction to that in the markets. But it was interesting that although Powell did say the US economy was really strong, he also gave a number of concerns that he has regarding the US economy. So that potentially could be a sign that the Fed is not on autopilot to continue raising interest rates. But we are, of course, the main news is that China and US have resumed high-level talks, and that there's been a written response to the US by China, and making some concessions to the US demands on the trade front. It remains to be seen how much progress can be made at the talks between President Trump and Xi later in the month. Let's now move on to sterling, because sterling has been very choppy in the past few days. We can see those spikes up and down. Yesterday we saw sterling recovering sharply from earlier lows to climb as high as $1.3071. That came after UK cabinet was locked at Westminster for around 5 hours discussing the May's Brexit deal. They finally gave the deal the all clear, but earlier today we saw a resignation of one minister for Northern Ireland. There haven't been any resignations of more senior ministers, but the the bigger fight will be for Theresa May to get Parliament's approval to back her Brexit plans, and now there's talk that that Theresa May could possibly face a vote of no confidence as many more MPs come against her Brexit deal. And the EU, though, seems to be fairly happy about the deal. They're going to reschedule a summit for November 25th to discuss the draft text. Let's finally move on to the Australian dollar. We can see the Aussie has now climbed to one-week high of 0.7298. We saw Australian economy adding almost 33,000 jobs in October. Forecasts were for 20,000. The unemployment rate stayed unchanged at 5% instead of climbing to 5.1% as had been expected. So the Aussie doing really well on the back of that data, and we could possibly see the RBA timing of a rate hike move forward if we continue to see more strong labor market figures. And of course, the China news also giving the Aussie a significant boost. We could possibly see the Aussie breaking above the 0.73 level. And looking at what's coming up later today, UK and US retail sales will be the focus, and we're also going to have another speech by Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. That's it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.